Hi, I'm Stephen Han and we're reviewing the Gearhead B34. That's 34 inches axle. So Gearhead is new for me. I did a review of the 20-inch one the customer traded in and I shot extremely well with it. So I thought, well, let's get Gearhead in. This is kind of their target bow. The brace height's adjustable from 5¼ inches to 7 inches by moving the grip forward or back, which is kind of interesting. The grip's a solid steel grip. And when you move the grip in or out, you adjust the stop here. There's two little bolts on the side you adjust to do that. It's a 3-stage binary cam, so there's 3 grooves for the strings. This is very similar to an Elite Bowtech cam system with a big stop on the top wheel. Rotating module. The module looks very much like your Elites or your Bowtechs, where it's dual grooves either side. Bit different to PSE, which has only got one groove on one side and no groove on the other, so that the string actually sits in a groove. So some things about the bow. Now it came with the catalogue. I thought that's a bit weird because you've got the bow, so why do you need a catalogue? But there's lots of useful information in this catalogue which is going to make your life easy. Now the bow weighs 4.5 pounds. That probably feels about right. Maybe, I'm going to guess it feels a little bit heavier than that. It says it shoots at 337. I haven't drawn back this bow. But there's lots of information in this booklet about how to adjust the bow, how to set it up, how to convert it from left to right-handed, string charts. You don't normally get this sort of stuff in a manual or a catalogue. Catalogues are just generally pictures of the bows, which you can get online. This has got lots of information, so you're going to kind of need this if you buy the bow. Now, to change the bow from left to right-handed, this just unbolts, flips around, so that's kind of easy. You then move the cable, the stabilizer to the top, because you've got all the same bolts, top and bottom. You've got lots of screw-on points on the side of this bow, and let's just go through some of them. There. So it's the same top and bottom, this bow. Rear stabilizers, front stabilizers. You can change the position from left to right to avoid torque. You can move the grip left to right for torque as well. Look, it's kind of an interesting bow. How it shoots is another question. I haven't shot it yet, so we'll see. Now, the poundage of these bows, really interesting. I'm going to talk about draw length. I think the draw length goes... Let's look it up. So the draw length goes from 26 to 32 inches, so a big draw length range. Now the poundage is a bit weird on a Gearhead. It goes from 55 to 45 or 65 to 55. Seems a bit weird because it's normally 50 to 60, 50 to 40 and 60 to 70. So you normally have those, where Gearhead's kind of gone to 5s. It's a bit weird. I'm going to say why it's weird, because World Archery maximum poundage is 60, so most people buy 60-pound bows. So now I've just fitted a basic D-loop, a basic whisker breast, and a basic 5-pin sight. So let's try the draw cycle. Now we're going to shoot through a chronograph. We shoot a gold tip velocity, weighs 327 grains. This bow's at maximum 55 pounds. I'm going to move this forward because I've got no idea where the sight's going to go. I said I haven't shot the bow. So we're just going to try the draw cycle out. It's very easy here. Getting harder, and then it's the stop. It's like it's almost got 2 stages of the draw. I'm going to say it's going to be very hard for this bow to shoot 337. Let's see, it's a pretty comfortable draw, if that makes sense. It feels really easy. Oh, cable guard, the cable slide. It's like a PSE cable slide. Don't know if it's the same, but it looks the same. And what's interesting, to me it's on back to front, if that makes sense. So normally the back one is further forward and the front one is pushing that way. Now you can't just swap the cable guard to make that occur. You'd have to flip the cable. So But it's just interesting that it's around that way. I'd have it the other way. I suppose I should explain why. Because this string here is on the outside, and this string's in the middle, so that's the way it should normally cross over, where by doing this you basically the gap would be bigger the other way. So let's take a shot and see what it feels like to shoot. This is my first draw. That was the first draw. It feels so easy. Back here it's nice and positive. .276. Now that's normally I shoot 29 inches. That felt like 29. It felt spot on. That's straight out the box. Yeah, so I normally shoot 60 pounds, and 337 would be around a 290. This is 55. Look, it feels an easy 55. Very easy draw. No kick left to right. It seems to aim. Yes, look, I'm close to the target, but we'll see later when I shoot 18 meters. The grip is comfortable. It reminds me of the old Bowtech grips back in 2007, 2005, where they had a custom grip. So back here, it's very comfortable. The bow shoots, so when you shoot the bow, it's a little thud forward. It feels very quiet. So that was a Victory 350 with 140 grain point on the front. It shot 255. The bow. Now, I'm going to say one of my friends on YouTube, not YouTube, he watches me on YouTube, but he messaged me on Facebook. He used to be a PSC shooter. I might be getting it wrong. Name's Amo. He's a big Gearhead fan. He's like, this is the best bow I've ever shot, and I've shot them all. I used to shoot this. And I do get lost with all the people who message me, but he messages me. He goes, you will love these bows. Look, I've shot this one twice. It feels pretty good. Like, the grip feels good. The draw stop feels good. It feels very easy to draw. Like, very easy. And obviously, I'm not getting the speeds that you get out of some of the bows, like the EM cam on the PSE, or like an aggressive cam. So I suppose now I'm going to be interested to see how the bow aims. Now, there's some things about this bow that interest me. There's lots about this bow that interest me. Like, all this is just like a skeleton, and I kind of wonder. So one of my friends who's like Australian champion, he said to me, the more holes you've got in the riser, the less the bow's going to be affected by wind, because you've got less to catch, so you move around less. So when he was shooting PSE, he said, I used to get a bit of wind hitting the riser because there wasn't enough holes in the riser. This has got endless amounts of holes. This is a very different bow. When you look at this, you go, well, this is like, I couldn't possibly shoot this. I think it'll shoot. I really do. I think it'll shoot. Just from the way it was holding, the grip feels really solid. And when you shot it, some bows like do a little kick out when you shoot, and they don't feel that controllable. This feels very controllable. So with that, let's go back to 18, get some sight settings, and see how well I shoot. Okay, so I've shot 4 shots to sight the bow in. And the last one was in the middle, so I'm happy to go with that. Now, when I was shooting the bow, I'm getting a little bit of that sometimes. So there's a fair bit of wind coming this way, and it's quite cold. It's quite chilly. Not the best conditions for shooting. So I'm going to be kind of interested to see where these arrows group and how they group. Bow's extremely easy to draw. Probably feels like a 50-pound bow. I feel very little to no vibration after the shot. It feels really good. Like that one, I was getting a bit of the left to right. Now, in the reviews I've done before, I shoot better with a higher brace height, so a bigger brace height, so I shoot better if I move this grip in. Because I find with the shorter brace heights, I get a little bit of this happening, and I'm definitely getting a little bit of that happening, especially in the wind. I felt it then. First shot not so bad, but second shot I was getting a bit of a twitch. I suppose that's what people like about this bow, the fact that you can change the brace height from 5 1/4 to 7 inches, but just by moving that grip. Makes it pretty simple. You've got obviously full draw length adjustability. You can change the valley. Now I'm going to say you don't have the same adjustability as an Elite, where you've got the limb stop and the you don't have the same adjustability as a limb stop and a cable stop. With the Elite, you can actually change the cable stop forward or back. With this, it's set. So, look, it's pretty much set. Look, it's comfortable. It's more like a Bowtech in that regard, but Bowtech doesn't have a limb stop. Look, I had a lot of wind there. I got blown out to the blue on the sight pin when I was aiming, but a lot of wind coming through, and I felt the bow was quite stable through the wind. So, like, I don't know, like, I have to shoot it more obviously to see that, but it felt pretty good. Like, I've just pulled it back in. Definitely still got a little bit of a wobble left to right. Now, as my long list of excuses, recovering from COVID, I lost a lot of strength and I fatigue a lot now. So I lost a lot of strength, my scores dropped, I haven't been practicing as much, I haven't been doing any weights because I just don't have the strength for it, although I just fatigue out, it just exhausts me. So I'm only just building back up my archery, so I've been shooting most of today with the recurve. But I shoot a few arrows, take a break, shoot a few arrows, take a break, shoot a few arrows, take a break. Look, I really like the bow. This bow is really so different. Like, people look at it and go, oh, I don't know about that bow, but it is so different. I think the more you shoot it, probably the more you'll like it. Now, Gearhead would say, the owner of Gearhead would tell me about all the events they win with Gearhead. And, you know, when you're not having to pay the top shooters to shoot your product and, you know, give those big prize monies, that's quite an achievement, because, you know, the big boat companies obviously buy the best shooters and they shower them with lots of cash when they win. So, look, I don't really know until I shoot a product, look how it's going to stack up and how it compares. But as far as vibration, it feels really, really good. shoot one more. It kind of reminds me, so my last bow, which is one of my bows, I used to shoot a PSE Perform, shoot through riser. Now I'm shooting a Citation, shoot through riser. Look, it reminds me of that, but the riser feels very rigid in this. And it's not like the old risers are flexible. It's just like you shoot and it's no vibration through the riser. Just seems to shoot. If that makes any sense. Like before, when I did reviews, I'm like, well, what's the difference between a shoot through and a normal riser like a Supra versus a Citation or a Perform? Look, what's the difference on this shoot through? You know, an Invicta versus whatever it is. And really, I couldn't see any difference. They shot pretty much the same. You'll see some top shooters shooting shoot through and some not. So I feel it's very stable. The grip I like. I don't know if I like it as much as the Elite grip. The Elite sort of tapers down a little bit, but it's very, very good. Alright, let's go and take a look. Look, the grip to me feels very much like a PSE grip. The shape and the feel of it. So let's go and take a look and see. So I'm up at the target and I can get my fingers around the whole group. I'm going to say the conditions were not great. I haven't been shooting a lot of compound lately, virtually hardly anything. And I would say that's a very, very good group given the temperature and the wind. The bow, the limbs are sort of covered in some sort of like rubber around the limbs, which is kind of interesting. It reminds me of what Merlin used to do. The bow to me feels solid, very adjustable. I don't know the price point, so I have to look that up and see where it compares. And the reason I don't have a price point is because I only just came in. I don't have my freight. How much does my freight cost to land them in Australia? So I've really got no concept of price. I'm going to guess it's going to be a $2,000 bow, because that's what it kind of feels like. So my summary, I think it's very good. I think it's very different. So I think people look at, who are looking for a target bow or a hunting bow will look at this and go, well, how does it fit in? It's too different. But it's kind of cool. It's very rigid. It's not heavy. A lot of the shoot through risers are heavy, and this does feel heavier than 4.5 pounds, but it feels lighter than them. I'd like to move the brace height forward to see if I can get a little bit. Although my grips here are excellent, like I'm getting no left to right, I definitely could see left to right in the sight pins. So I'd like that a little bit more stable, but overall, pretty good. I'm Stephen Hand from Archery Supplies. That's the Gearhead B34, 34 inches. We're going to be doing all the gearheads and comparing them. And like, if I could shoot target scores like that, I'd be pretty happy. And that's just with the sight, no peak, no stabilizers. And maybe we'll do one of these where we set it up with a full target setup and see what sort of score I shoot. So just the more you shoot, the better you'll shoot. Thanks for watching. Bye.